Yeah, so it's visible. So let's continue. Hi everyone, those of you who have joined on YouTube. I hope the webinar is visible. The screen is visible. Yeah. So welcome once again to those who have joined on YouTube as well, and those of you who have joined on Zoom. This is about about an orientation kind of a program for a qualification, ACCA, also referred to as a global CA program or global CA course, recognized across lots of countries, about 180 of them. Now, ACCA, Association of Chartered Certified Accountants, right? They're considered to be at almost par with Chartered Accountants of England and Wales, ICAEW. So ACCA in UK, they can take license and they can practice like Chartered Accountants. And you'll be glad to know that Indigo Learn has been accredited as a silver learning partner. So we are officially associated with ACCA to provide ACCA core curriculum in India and also across the globe. Now, for a lot of us, after BCom, what do you think? Can you mute yourself? Just a second. So for a lot of us after graduation, what is to be done? Some of us are pursuing CA, and this webinar is not us. We are not conducting this webinar asking you to move away from CA and start doing ACCA. That is not the objective. CA has its own advantages. It has its own peculiarities. ACCA has its own advantages and it has its own peculiarities. Now, for someone who is only doing BCom, that would be one category. And a lot of students would be doing BCom plus something like ACCA, or someone who is doing BCom plus something like a CA, they will definitely have an edge. Okay. Now, it's a matter of fact that a lot of students, they get stuck at CA intermediate level or at a CA final level. In fact, I have my friends who completed CA intermediate, they started working, and now they have completed their ACCA program to progress further in the career. Okay. So for a lot of us, that could be one area where you would want to focus upon. That is, only BCom is not sufficient. BCom plus CA is definitely good. BCom plus maybe CMA is good. For those of us, who are only with BCom and are not pursuing CA, ACCA becomes one of a very good option because of multiple things. One, you get dual qualification, your BCom qualification plus ACCA qualification, plus you are also, if you submit some project work, you would be able to get another qualification from universities of Oxford in UK. So you can get BSc in accounting or MSc in accounting. The details is available in our brochure, right? So you can get a double qualification, in fact more than two qualification. And because of a lot of multinational companies coming into India, they are looking for candidates who have an international qualification. So for that, ACCA becomes one of the sought after qualification. In fact, you can go out and search for a job which require ACCA, you'll find lots of them. In fact, ACCA has over 7,000 employers. ACCA, candidates pursuing ACCA or candidates who have completed ACCA. Okay, so job perspective opens up significantly, and you'll definitely have an edge over someone who has just completed BCom. Okay, and obviously the pay packages are also better as compared to just a graduation, right? Just a second. Okay. Now, as I told you, ACCA, an international qualification. It's a global CA thing. And subjects, if we talk about, I'll come to the subjects slightly later. Somewhat similar to BCom and CA, but examination approach is very, very different. Now, when you look at the syllabus of ACCA, or when you look at the books of ACCA, you may feel that, oh, this concept I know, that concept I know. This is a very easy thing as compared to CA Inter. This thing I've already learned in BCom. You may get into such kind of perspective, but though the concepts are similar, the concepts may appear to be simple. Examination is very different. The examinations are case study based. Examination require a lot of application. You don't need to remember lots of stuff, but you must be able to apply things in the examination. So the approach for examination is very different, where you need guidance from a good, a teacher or a good mentor. And you can finish off the qualification in about 1.5 to 2 years time. So there are restrictions on number of papers you can write in an attempt and within a calendar year. Based on that, someone who clears all the papers in the first go with some exemptions, they can complete the course in 1.5 to 2 years time. So for a lot of you are doing 12th, and if you are pursuing BCom from a university which has a tie-up with ACCA, then in that case you will be able to complete maybe even before you complete your graduation. And you can get additional qualifications, as I told you, BSc and MSc, after you complete certain formalities. So focus would be on accounting, finance, and taxation. These things which you already are exposed to as a part of your graduation, and also as a part of your CA journey. If you're pursuing CA or CMA, you're already exposed to these fields. So these are not something which is new. And you can be hired across multiple domains, like you can be in the accounting team, the financial accounting team, the financial reporting team, the management accounting team, the team which takes care of your budgets, your forecast, management information system. Someone, you may be taken up as a financial controller who would be looking at the overall finance function. Then you could be taken as a tax specialist, as an auditor. And if you look at a lot of companies in Middle East, if someone is planning to move to Middle East, or someone is planning to move to foreign countries, even there ACCA has a good enough demand, right? So as I told you, there are multinational companies, there are big fours, there are other international companies. All of these take up ACCA with attractive salary range. This 6 to 10 lakhs is benchmarked against India. Okay, so if you move abroad or if you move to Middle East, definitely the pay package should be much higher. So you can look at these, requirements. These are latest ones. So 1 month ago, 3 months ago, hiring ACCA affiliate or CA Inter. So see this. They're okay to take CA. If they don't get a CA, they would be okay to take an ACCA as well, right? So this is an accounting firm is hiring ACCA affiliates. EYGDS is immediately hiring ACCA. Okay, these are just some samples that we have, put out. Okay. You can see again here, see ACCA freshers, ACCA pursuing, CA Inter, CA finalist for UK accounting. So there are many opportunities. You can search out on LinkedIn. You can look out on Naukri.com. Just type for ACCA and job vacancy. You will see the demand that is coming up for ACCA. And one thing is the kind of effort that the institute itself puts. ACCA. So how ACCA works is they take training partners like us, and they also have tie-up with corporates. Okay, so they are approved employers, they are approved learning providers. So ACCA works in both the directions. One, to train the students. Second, the employers to hire the students or employ the students. So that way, placement does not become a challenge. Okay. Now, that is about the scope or opportunity. Coming to subjects, we have 3 levels. Level 1, applied knowledge, level 2 applied skill, and level 3 professional. This has 3 papers, 6 papers, and here we have 4 papers. 2 are compulsory and 2 are optional. Okay, and the beauty of this course is you can take 1 paper at a time. There is no compulsion to take all the papers. That a large challenge that we face in CA is writing multiple papers in a single attempt. Okay. Now, here you have the option to take 1 paper at a time or 2 papers at a time. right? So based on your comfort, you can select the papers and you can take up the examination, right? Now, based on so you have a business technology, you have management accounting, you have financial accounting, these three papers. In case of most of the universities where you are pursuing BCom, or if you have completed CA intermediate, these papers would be exempt. Okay. And there would be some exemption fee, but that would also be significantly reduced by 85-90% if you go through a learning partner. Okay. So say, for example, you are pursuing BCom. Okay. And if you're pursuing BCom, and if that university has an MOU, or if you have completed CA intermediate, then these papers are exempt, for which you need to pay an exemption fee that is equal to the exam fee. But if you go through a learning partner like us, you are not required to pay a high amount of exemption fee. Just about 10 to 15% of the fee is what you need to pay to get the exemption, right? Similarly, based on the level of qualification, I'll show you the exemption sheet separately. You will get different exemptions at different level. You can get maybe 4 or 5 exemptions depending on which level are you at. At the final level or the professional level, you don't have any exemptions. You have to compulsorily write these 2 papers and any 2 out of these 4 papers. Okay, so just give me a moment. So someone who had asked for 10+2, right? So after 10+2, what you need to do is you need to have at least 65% in mathematics or accounting. In English, you need to have 65%, and others you need to have 50%. After that, you can register and pursue the ACCA course. Yeah. So a lot of you have a doubt as to what kind of exemptions we get if you are pursuing BCom. If you are pursuing BCom, then knowledge level is exempted, but provided it is, the university has partnered with ACCA, and will help you in understanding which universities have partnered and which have not partnered. Okay, so that will help you in understanding. So the first level, that is level 1, knowledge level, 3 papers are exempted. Then for skills level, you will have 1 exemption or sometimes 2 exemption depending on the university. Then coming to CA intermediate, you have additional exemption for audit, right? So basically you get 6 exemptions. If you have completed CA inter, you get 6 exemptions, and you need to write 3 papers in skill level and 4 papers in final level or the professional level. Entire knowledge level and skills level is exempted. You just need to write 4 papers. Okay. Then if you are only CA inter, you get 5 paper exemption. So see the advantage. CA inter plus BCom, you have an additional exemption in 1 more paper. So it would be depending on 5 paper exemption or 6 paper exemption, depending on which bucket do you fall in. If you have already completed CA final, then entire skill level and knowledge level is exempted. You just need to write the professional level. Okay. Now, someone asked, when is the right time to take up ACCA? If you are pursuing BCom and your university has a tie-up with ACCA, you can join in while you are pursuing BCom itself. For others, the exemption is considered at the time of registering with ACCA. So what I suggest is you reach out to us with your current level, and we will advise you as to when is the right time for you to start ACCA. It should not happen that you start ACCA program with lesser exemption and later on you are exempted for a higher category. So that would create some kind of confusion in your mind as well. I don't know how to do the screen share pause. Okay, sorry, there was some issue on screen sharing. I'm just going through it again. So if you are pursuing BCom, as I told you, you get 5 exemptions at knowledge level and skill levels. If you are doing CA Inter plus BCom, there are 6 exemptions. If you have completed CA final, there are 9 exemptions. So that is one thing you have to keep in mind. For BCom, for some universities, while you are pursuing itself, you will be eligible for those exemptions. But for CA Inter or CA final, you need to complete. Just while pursuing, you will not get the exemptions. Okay. This brochure is available for download on our website. You can download it and you can go through the details of exemptions. So if you have taken biology in your higher secondary, right? So then you have to go through, or you have to register either through your graduation route or through CA intermediate route for exemptions. Otherwise, so what is the requirement? You just look at this, no? For 10+2, you need maths, accounts, English. Okay, so you need accounts here or maths here. Then otherwise, you can take a entrance through graduation. That is possible. Eligibility criteria, I just now explained it to you. Okay, yeah. So coming to employers, some of the employers out of more than 7,000 approved employers, you have these known companies like you have Barclays, you have Northern Trust, Deloitte, PW, Grant Thornton, Amazon, Byju's, HDFC, Axis, Citi. So even Indian companies who are multinational companies, even they are employing ACCA. And as we chat with our colleagues in practice and in industry, for a lot of places where there is a shortage of these days you hear it, right? Shortage of articles, shortage of CA qualifieds and all of that. They are trying to hire ACCA graduate, ACCA qualifieds to for as a replacement for CA in some of the roles. I'm not saying for all the roles, they are not replacing everything, but wherever they are finding it difficult to get candidates, they are preferring ACCA guys. So whether you do with exemption or without exemption, there is no difference at all. Okay. So if let us say you have done through a CA final completed route, 9-paper exemption, still then you will get the same certificate. In fact, I have done my CIMA UK by availing exemptions as per my CA final. So that is perfectly fine. So I need your suggestion. I am working and I can't leave my job, but I want to join any professional course where I can do articleship after completion of the entire course. And also if any technical regular classes like CA where attendance is compulsory, I want to prepare for ACCA attending recorded classes. Is it possible in ACCA till completion of entire course? Okay. So for you, this is a privately asked query. First thing, ACCA comes as a practical work experience requirement. We call it PER. Okay, that is not like articleship. So say for example, so again, this question I'm addressing specifically regarding articleship. If you are pursuing CA, you have to mandatorily undergo articleship under a practice in CA, correct? Now here, the practical experience that is required for 36 months, it can be, number one, obtained anytime. Number two, it need not be under a existing ACCA or existing chartered or practicing chartered accountant or something like that. You can work in any finance and accounting function or maybe audit function, right? Where there is relevant practical experience. and whether it is obtained before the course, during the course, after the course completion, it does not matter. So say for example, someone who is working currently, someone who asked the question, he is working currently, he cannot leave the job. No need to leave the job. You continue with your job as it is. Okay, then complete the papers, maybe one by one or two papers at a time. You start writing those papers. Then whatever work experience you have gathered, okay, over a period of time, all of that experience is considered. So just a certificate from your employer that you have worked for so much of time, that itself would be sufficient. Okay, we'll definitely help you in that, in getting the relevant practical experience requirement. And once you have completed that, and once you become an ACCA affiliate or an ACCA member later on, then you can use that degree as a leverage to obtain job. Yes, articleship will also be considered as a relevant practical experience. In fact, for a lot of CA pursuing students, they would have completed their articleship. So that becomes an added advantage. It can be from more than one employer. There is no requirement that it has to be only one employer. Practical experience is for 36 months. Once you have completed 3 years of articleship, training, then you are not, that itself is sufficient. That itself is sufficient for you to get an ACCA membership. I am doing India CMA. Should I go for ACCA or CIMA? Because CIMA and CMA are almost same. See, CIMA, I myself am a CIMA UK qualified. But if I look at the opportunities in India, there are very, very limited opportunities. They are not really aggressive like ACCA. Okay. I have not seen any value. There may be some companies here and there that would be, taking up CIMA candidates, but they are very limited. And I have seen, I've qualified CIMA in 2014, 7-8 years back, but the approach that ACCA is following is very, very different from what CIMA has been following. Okay. If you want to go to the UK and settle there, then it's a different thing. But then in India, as far as if you're looking at India, Middle East or other countries, ACCA definitely has an edge. And it is not because we are providing you the program or we are, conducting training program for ACCA. You can join with, wherever you want to or however you want to. But the fact is ACCA definitely has an edge over CIMA, or for that matter, CMA US as well. Okay, so I think a lot of queries around practical experience I have covered. Now, practical experience can be obtained from any number of employers. See, CIMA, if you go through, that's what I have answered already. CIMA, if you go through, the opportunities will not be as great as what you have, with the other profession. Okay. Now, coming back to the, broad cost structure, this is just a broad thing, keeps on, changing from time to time, but that would what be the broader one. So, this initial registration cost is £89, but if you go through OneFin or any approved learning partner, it's only 3,000 rupees. That is what would be. A subscription fee would be this for 2 years. You need to be a member, student there. Then you have exam fee or exemption fee, as you say. So for applied knowledge level, it will depend. Okay, so 258, maybe 0. For some cases, it may be slightly higher, depending on what is the tie-up with the specific universities. So out of this 258, maybe you have to pay some 10% or 15% of the amount, which would work out to roughly around 10% would be around £25 or £30, roughly in that range. That is what you need to pay. So exemption fee means because you are not writing an exam, you have to pay this fee to get the exemption, right? Then for applied skill, based on the exemptions, total fee would be £746. After exemptions, around 528 to 600 pounds. So that is another cost. At professional level, you have an exam fee of 75. So this is what is payable to ACCA Institute, not to us, over the entire program period. Okay. And tuition fees, it would depend again based on the exemptions and based on the number of subjects that you would be, paying to Indigo Learn. And along with tuition fee, when you pay as the tuition fee, you'll also get access to some, e-version of notes, lectures, recorded lectures, live lectures. All of those things will be made available. When are you going to start ACCA? When are you going to start ACCA classes? If we join, then will you guide us for registration? So we are planning to start ACCA classes sometime in August, right? Depend on the number of registrations we get. And even if you join through us, definitely we'll guide you with respect to registration. You can take the benefit of exemption fee. Okay, you can take the benefit of lower, registration fees. All of those things we will be guiding you, right? So that is not to be worried. Then does ACCA Institute provide study material like CA? So, one thing about international courses, whether it be ACCA or CIMA or CPA or CMA, the institute does not provide study material like ICAI provides. Okay, what they provide is learning outcome statements. They prescribe the syllabus. Then there are certain authorized or approved publishers like Kaplan, BPP. We use their material, Kaplan, BPP, Kaplan more for the students. We use their material and we prepare you for the examination. So ACCA is a body where you will be registering. ACCA is a body that will be conducting the exams and giving you the results and the membership. Syllabus is set by ACCA, but books are not given by ACCA. Books are given by someone like a Kaplan Publishing or BPP. Or there are many other players in the market. But the best ones, if you ask me, are Kaplan and BPP. And using those material, we prepare you for the examination. And based on that, you would be able to, prepare for the examination and appear for the examination. See, this BSc and MSc degree is based out of London. So you will get the BSc degree from Oxford Brookes University and MSc from University of London. These are actually international qualifications. I think I have addressed all your queries or questions. If you have more questions, you can reach out to us. You can download the brochure. You can download the brochures, on our website. And BSc, MSc degree, as I told you, is recognized. These are provided by universities based out of London. So obviously, they will not be a part of UGC. No, so someone has asked on YouTube, if we start on our own startup, will it be a practical experience? No, you have to work under an employer. That is what is considered as a practical experience. Then any exemption in Indian CA after ACCA? No, nothing. So Indian CA, even your CMA qualified or CS qualified, you get very little exemption. That also you can go through the direct entry route. Okay. So for that, you'll not get exemption. So that is that. Even if you are a CPA or ICAW, where there is MOU, there you will get, right, but otherwise you will not get. So if you are an MCOM completed candidate, what will apply to you is what is applicable to BCom. If there are any specific subjects that you have completed and that university has some MOU with ACCA or something like that, we can definitely check out on that and we can tell you what exemptions are available. Okay, so that we need to check. It is done on a case-to-case basis. It is not a blanket thing. Okay, so if you are a BCom, minimum exemptions that I have told you that is available. Beyond that, if let's say you have completed MCom or for CS or for CMA, India, We have to check for that specific course what is the exemption available with the ACCA. We have to apply for it, and if you get an exemption, we will do it. So what will be the total cost without exemption? That would be somewhere around, roughly, if I have to tell you, around 2 lakhs is what is payable to the ACCA Institute. Another a lakh rupee of the tuition fee. So around 3 to 3.25 would be the broad cost. But in most of the cases, you will be eligible for some exemptions if you have just completed BCom or other courses. So definitely the course structure would be lower. Okay. Right. Okay, so I think I've covered most of the things. Let me see if there is something else on YouTube which I need to address. Otherwise, we can call it a thing. Okay, now so that also I think is completed. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for taking out your time and joining in for the session. Those of you who have more queries, do reach out to our support numbers or support chat chat engine that is available, or you can send a WhatsApp. You can give a callback request, and then we'll be definitely happy to help you on that. PER, it has to be in finance, accounting, audit, taxation related domains. It cannot be in any commerce field as such. It has to be a finance, accounting, audit, tax related domain. Okay. Sure. Thank you guys. Have a nice time.